broadcast. And now let's listen to this ballad about a brawny, hardy, happy lumberjack in the forests of the Northwest.
Timber, timber. Now Big Paul hails from Oregon, where the trees reach up a mile. He's a lusty bull with an axe, yo-ho, and look at that big tooth smile. Big Paul's a lucky fella, with healthy teeth he's blessed. He's learned to fight old tooth decay with the toothpaste they call Crest. Big Paul's wise. You be wise, too, 'cause chances are your teeth have soft spots in them, and soft spots can turn to cavities unless you turn to Crest. Yes, Crest does something no other toothpaste can do. Hardens those weak places, stops them from turning into cavities. That's because of Crest's own special fluoride, Fluoristan. And Crest freshens your breath. Tastes wonderful. So make Crest your family toothpaste and put your fears to rest. Soft spots can turn to cavities unless you turn to Crest. Crest is best, Crest is best, Crest is best.
Back to This Is Your Life, Dr. Lee DeForest, one of history's greatest inventors, the father of radio and grandfather of television. Now, Mr. Greaves, I know you and Dr. DeForest went through great dangers there at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, building the first wireless stations for the Navy. What was it like there, sir?
To give you a faint idea, about 900 people were afflicted with yellow fever in Guantanamo Bay, and many of them died. But Dr. Doc's wireless station was completed in less than 1 year and sent a message over 2,000 miles, which startled the world.
Yes, it did. Both of you men are with Dr. DeForest the next exciting year, 1906, a year that men in future centuries will tie to the name of Lee DeForest. Why, Mr. Pickerel?
Because in that year, Dr. DeForest's great mind conceived the Audion radio tube. And that summer, he was walking the streets, practically penniless, because of mismanagement by his financial backers. So he rented a small laboratory in the old Parker building on 4th Avenue in New York City.
One day, Doc brought in a mysterious box. He connected it up to the wireless circuit and passed the headphones over to Mr. Burchard.
Well, what did Mr. Burchard say to you, Dr. DeForest, when he listened in?
He said, "My Lord, Doc, what have you got in that box?"
He was listening to those signals. In that mysterious box was the first three-element radio tube, the basic invention that was to rock the electrical world and give to mankind the miracles of radio and television. Thank you, Mr. V.F. Greaves of Paradise, California, and Mr. E.N. Pickerel of Mineola, New York, distinguished in your own right, Mr. Pickerel, as the first man to demonstrate radio from a plane in flight way back in 1910. Genius, they say, is 90% hard work. And here in 1906 and 1907, as always, you're working day and night, caring little how you live or eat, your mind aflame with your idea that wireless waves can be made to carry the human voice. You design and build your first crude carbon arc transmitter. And on a never-to-be-forgotten day of October 1907, you ask a young singer to come to your tiny laboratory. In great excitement, you show her a voice pickup phone, and you say, "Please try to sing through that."
I love you truly.
Yes, we found her. The first person in the world to have her voice broadcast by radio. From New York City, here is Madame Eugenia Farrar. There's your pal. You made the first broadcast in history, Mrs. Farrar, and who was the first radio announcer in history?
Dr. DeForest,
What?
he asked me to sing, and Mr. Edwards,
In announcing you to sing? He was the first announcer. That's right, he was, wasn't he?
and a little while after that, he played the records.
Yes.
So he also became the first disc jack.
That's right, the first disc jockey. Someone heard your voices that great day And here he is from Belmore, Long Island, former Navy wireless operator Oliver Wyckoff. Mr. Wyckoff.
Wonderful surprise.
Now, where were you when you heard Madame Farrar's voice coming through your wireless set, Mr. Wyckoff?
I was a wireless operator on the Secretary of the Navy's yacht, the USS Dolphin, and we were entering New York Harbor at that time. When I heard the voice over the wireless, I was astonished and surprised, and I brought in some of the crew to listen to it.
What did you think had happened?
Well, I thought somebody had connected up a phonograph record or something to my set and was pulling a fast one on me.
I guess you really didn't realize that radio was being born that day.
Oh, yes, I didn't at that, no.
But it was, and thank you, Mr. Oliver Wyckoff and Madame Eugenia Farrar of New York City. You'll see Doctor a little later. In 1908, you marry Nora Blatch. And in 1909, to your joy, your first daughter, Harriet, is born.
Yes.
In 1910, you make history again from the Metropolitan Opera. What first did you score that year?
Broadcast the voice of Caruso.
First-
1910, from the roof of the Metropolitan Opera House.
First broadcast of Grand Opera. In 1912, almost by chance, you hook up two of your Audion tubes in series and discover that your tube is also an amplifier, the magic device which makes possible today all long-distance and overseas telephones, as well as every other instrument which amplifies sound.
And also an oscillator.
An oscillator,
An
too.
oscillator which became the parent of all today oscillator tubes.
Yes, sir.
Transmitter station.
1913 to 1923, you give your immense talents to a new dream of yours, the talking movie. Now, that story deserves a half hour in itself. You tried to get every big producer in Hollywood to listen to you, didn't you, sir? But they turned you down. Yet you go on your own, and are the first to make and distribute sound on film movies in 1923, years before Hollywood accepted it, and because of your pioneering, revolutionized the movies.
That's it.
1929, you turn your great mind to a new challenge, television. Your great accomplishments in television we've already covered with your friend Dr. Alan B. Dumont at the beginning of the program tonight. By 1930, your intervening marriage has ended unhappily. You think you'll never find lasting personal happiness until, through your cousin, actress Bibi Daniels, you meet film star Marie Moschini in California. All your life, you had written poetry. It seems that goes with great inventors. And to this lovely lady, you wrote these lines. Your loveliness defies my pen. Your face so fair, your voice so sweet, your eyes as full of love as when...
You kissed me on a street in happy, sun-kissed Avalon. 'Tis poem enough to know that now and then you are my poem and
Yes?
my song.
Your bride then, your bride now. After 27 years, Mrs. DeForest. Come and sit down, please. That's a beautiful poem, Dr. DeForest, and I can see why now it was written. How proud you must be of your husband, Mrs. DeForest.
Yes, I feel privileged to have found in the world's greatest inventor the world's dearest man.
And here from Greenwich, Connecticut, from Santa Monica, California, and Albuquerque, New Mexico, sir. Can you stand three more surprises? Very dear to you, your three daughters, Harriet DeForest. Here's Harriet, all the way from Connecticut. And daughter Eleanor, Mrs. Frederick Peck. There's Eleanor. And daughter Marilyn, Mrs. Edward Coker. The whole gang. Your daughters decided not to take your many grandchildren out of school here at end of term. So, Dr. DeForest, here's a gallery of photographs. You sit there and look back here of your loving grandchildren now. You can see them back here. See the whole gang of them there.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Well, now, we've done our best, sir, in 30 minutes to just touch the high spots, Dr. DeForest, merely to hint at the vastness of your gift to the world. We'd have to measure the laughter of every motion picture, the pleasure and education of all television and radio, now and forever. the wages earned by millions in the electronic industry, and all the lives spared in peace and war because of you. That is but a fraction of our debt to you. This is your life, Dr. Lee DeForest. In a moment, a word about your future, sir. Meanwhile, here's exciting news for all you ladies out there.
The princess was showered with gifts, silks, jewels, ivory, ivory soap in the personal size. She loved it best, so beautiful, so pure and white, so handy in the bath, it floats. And it gave her suds in a twinkling, faster than any other leading bath soap. Can't keep a princess waiting. No milder suds ever pampered the royal skin. For your bath, use personal size ivory. You'll feel pampered as a princess. And you can afford that royal feeling. 4 cakes of personal size ivory cost about the same as 3 cakes of any other leading bath soap. So that 4th cake is almost like a gift. Look for the ribbon on the wrapper. Personal size ivory. Your best bath buy.
Well, now, thank you very much. Dr. DeForest, we'd like humbly to share in your future, a future that starts with a party in your honor tonight at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, where your friends and family have been staying. You'll have your own film of tonight's program, of course, to view often on this Bell & Howell sound projector. Our sponsor also presents you with this movie camera. And to aid you in your continuing research, something you've always wanted, this Bell & Howell Miracle 2000 high-fidelity tape recorder. Crest has had Marshall Jewelers of New York, Bob Warren, have you got these? Of New York City, present the highlights of your great life, thanks, Bob, in gold charms on this bracelet designed especially for Mrs. DeForest. We thought you'd like to give her that. A likeness of you has been engraved, this I wish everyone could see, upon this gold money clip and upon this special plaque, which is a tribute to you from This Is Your Life. There you are. There you are, sir. Your favorite recreational hours are always spent listening to the world's greatest music, so Crest wants you to make your own selection of $1,000 worth of records and albums from the RCA Victor Music Catalog. Now, we have remembered your favorite charity, too, sir, Boys Town, Nebraska. Crest will send there in your name this magnificent Magnavox high-fidelity custom radio phonograph. We know they want that. Finally, you've always wanted to sail through the Panama Canal and see it completed with your own eyes. So Crest has arranged that trip for you and Mrs. DeForest. You will sail on a fine modern cargo liner of the Moore-McCormick line. 7 days from Los Angeles, you'll sail into the Panama Canal, and from the canal you'll return via TWA, Trans World Airlines, who are now introducing their new Jetstream service. How come you didn't invent the Jetstream, I want to know? Dr. Lee DeForest, inventor and benefactor of mankind, this is your life. Thank you. Good night, sir.
Thank you enough.
Well, thanks to you.
Our guests are brought here by TWA, Trans World Airlines, who are introducing the newest and most luxurious airplane in the sky, the Jetstream. Fly the finest. Fly TWA Jetstream service.
Don't forget to join us next week for an interesting, exciting story on This Is Your Life.
This Is Your Life is a Ralph Edwards production. Produced by Axel Gruenberg and directed by Richard Gottlieb. This Is Your Life has been presented by Procter & Gamble for Ivory Soap, advised by more doctors for baby's skin and yours. 99 and 44/100% pure. It floats. And Crest toothpaste with Fluorestan. Don't miss excitement and danger on the web, Sunday nights on most of these same stations.
Back to my old self again, roughhousing with the kids. Talks with a doctor and the understanding of my family and my friends that helped me through a period of depression and unhappiness. Your understanding of mental health is needed too. Write for the free booklet, How to Deal with Your Tensions, Box 3000, New York 1, New York.